And now, the future is here.
The only way to innovate, the only way to continue to grow markets is to stretch boundaries, to see in the blue ocean where no one's had the courage to go before.
To go further, to be greater, we must do more, be more.
And that's the spirit of better.
Pruvit is the community of people that make it up.
Hey everybody, welcome to our Zoom. We are super thankful that you're giving us a few minutes of your time so that you can find out more about the Pruvit opportunity and everything we have going on here at Pruvit. We are super thankful that you're joining us. My name is Natalie Kilborn. I live in Springfield, Missouri with my family. I have been drinking and sharing ketones since 2015. And about 3 days after finding out about ketones, I knew that I had a lot of friends. I had a bunch of family members that would benefit from hearing about ketones and benefit from some of the amazing benefits that we have. And I found out that you could get paid for sharing ketones with other people. So I have some incredible humans that I get to introduce you to so that you can hear their story, find out some details, and get some of your questions answered. Let's start with my buddy, Dustin Schaefer. He is coming in all the way from California. He's a dad, he's got a bunch of kids, and he understands the power of ketones and how to build this business. So, Dustin, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Hey, Nat, thank you so much. And I'm super excited to be on with you all. And for me, when I started with Pruvit, I needed to make extra money to take pressure off my family. We were struggling. I was just trading time for money. My wife and I were starting our family. And it's overwhelming and stressful when you feel like you just can't make enough to have the life you really want to live. And so when I joined Pruvit, I was really looking at this for an opportunity. And then I fell in love with the product, the number one health supplement in the world with the number one health company. And I was able to change my family's life. But the great thing about being part of this Pruvit community is that I didn't have a huge business background. I didn't know all these marketing strategies. And so I was able to follow a simple system so I could end up sharing this with the people I cared about, building a team and making additional money. And eventually I was able to transition to doing this full time. And it gave me a lot more time and freedom to spend more time with my kids and do some fun traveling that I've always wanted to do. So Natalie, this has been the biggest change in my family's life. And it wasn't for Pruvit, we wouldn't have these opportunities to live the life we get to live today.
That's amazing. And Dustin, I know you have people from all different backgrounds, all different ages. Can you share a story with us of somebody that you're like, man, I shared ketones with them and they absolutely transformed their life?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing is my sister. You know, I shared it with the people I cared the most about first. But my sister is former drug addict, in and out of prison, and she couldn't get healthy. Nothing about her life could get better. Like it literally it seemed impossible. And after 6 weeks of drinking ketones, her body started shifting and changing. She's been down 100 pounds for over 7 years and has kept it off. But the neatest thing about my sister is she's made some really good additional income because she started sharing it. She loved it so much. And she was able to move her family to Colorado, live in her dreams, living in the mountains. And she set herself up for a new life. And to me, that's a story that inspires me every single day. But there's so many out there. And I just love hearing how crazy and amazing these stories are that people get to change their life with not just ketones, but also with Pruvit.
I love that. There's this saying, Dustin, it doesn't matter if you're from Yale or jail, you can be successful inside of this business model because it's just about sharing what you already love. Just like if I watch an incredible movie, I'm going to call my friends and I'm going to be like, OMG, you've got to watch this movie. It's absolutely awesome. It's the same exact thing in Pruvit. You're having an experience when you're drinking ketones. You feel great. Maybe you have fat loss. Maybe you have better energy. All kinds of great things are happening and you want to share it with people and the company pays you for doing that. I know personally, my story really quick, when we got started, my husband is a captain for Delta Airlines and I am a stay-at-home mom. And I just knew in my soul, like, man, I have more to give. Like raising those baby girls is my heart, is my passion, but I also know that I had gifts and talents that I could use to serve people. And so when we got sharing about ketones, we hit a financial home run. It was absolutely awesome, but it allowed me to grow. Like, man, I was able to get great mentorship, get great training. Pruvit provides literally world-class mentorship for us to be able to grow and learn and develop your skills as a person. So like the Natalie that I was in 2015 when we got started is not the Natalie of 2025. I am just wiser, stronger, all of these cool things, and it impacted our finances for our family. One cool story, Dustin, that I absolutely love is both of my daughters. One of my daughters just graduated college a couple years ago. She went to Oklahoma State. My other daughter, she's a sophomore at Ole Miss. And to be able to send those tuition checks and not have a panic. I don't know if any of you are sending tuition checks as a empty nester, but to be able to have that coming into our family from a business that we've created is a huge blessing. And I know another family that we absolutely love who also is on Team Girl with so many daughters, Stephanie and Steve Melky. Stephanie, tell us your story when you got started. You had a drink of ketones. What was your goal when you initially got started?
I love it. Well, thank you. Yes. So my name is Stephanie Milkey. I'm tuning in from Florida, stay-at-home mom of 4 daughters. And right now we're in the teenage years. It's absolutely, it's amazing and wild. And like Dustin's story, you heard him say he was looking for an opportunity. I actually wasn't looking for a product or an opportunity. My husband handed me a packet and he's like, hey, Stephanie, if you drink this and if it works, it's going to change thousands of people's lives. I tried the product, again, was not looking at sharing it with anybody. I was in over my head. At that time, the girls were babies and I was tired and I was overwhelmed. But what happened is the ketones shifted my life. They turned on my brain. I was able to just function and feel great. And I started hearing other moms say, I'm tired. Hey, I want to lose some weight. Hey, man, I wish I had some extra money. Oh, I can't afford that. And I was hearing all of these things. And I remember my husband said, there is an opportunity. There is a community. Like, hey, Stephanie, did you know that you can share ketones with other people and you can help create some income? And it hit me really hard when I was at the grocery store one day. And I always had to count all of our groceries. And I never complained about it because we chose for me to stay home. But when I had to count up to the dollar of what I was spending, I remember going, I think I actually could help my family if I started sharing something that's changing my life. So all I did was when I heard one of my moms at the park say, man, I'm tired, I would go, hey, have you ever heard of ketones? And they would go, well, what are they? And I would say, you know what, I have a video. I'm actually not a ketone expert. I don't even know how they work, but I feel incredible. And I started sharing with all of my moms and my friends and just anybody that I knew needed what I had. I didn't go to ketone school. I didn't study a whole bunch of scientific documents on what they were and how they worked in the body. I just knew I felt great. And my goal was $400 a month. If I could make $400 a month for grocery money, it would change our family's life. I wouldn't have to count pennies. And as you work in this business and as you share what it's doing for yourself, there's other goals you can hit. There was a car program and I was like, I would love to have a van that is not held together by duct tape. My vans came from Craigslist. I was always thankful and hopefully and prayed that it started. And so, over the last 10 years, our family went from living paycheck to paycheck to now I like to say we can live and give like we never thought. And we've traveled the world and, we just paid for our daughter's cosmetology school. And there's things that you're like, I wish I could, but it started with the $400 and it started with plugging into the team, not being the expert and going, hey, watch this video. Hey, talk to my friend Dustin. Hey, my friend Natalie can help answer that question. And doing it together has completely changed our life. So we're forever, forever thankful.
I love that. You mentioned just a second ago, Stephanie, the community. For somebody who's looking, they don't want to do this business by themselves. They're excited. Maybe they've, tried ketones before and they're a little nervous, like, man, will I have support? Will I have help? Tell us a little bit about the Pruvit community from your experience.
Oh my goodness. I mean, just from the mom experience, if you have kids that you're doing something and you're easily distracted or you tell somebody you're going to follow back up with them or call them and then you don't a week later. So we have an incredible community to where we're all connected. The person that invited you here to listen to this video is on your team and they've got people on their team. And so we follow a system called ACE, attract, connect, enroll. Like we have a system. Dustin mentioned we have a system. You're going to learn how to attract people. We're going to teach you how to have conversations, what to say. If you want to use social media or face-to-face, we have the connection piece where we've got videos and tools. We've got people like, hey, put me on a phone call with somebody. That's exactly what I did. I would go, hey, talk to my friend. Hey, talk to my friend. Like we use each other and we use the tools that Pruvit has created. And then we help people experience ketones. We've got trial packs. We've got so many options to help people get in where they fit in, but we do it together.
Well, the community is like top tier. It is the greatest people across the planet. And when you find people that have the same ideas, the same mission, it is just more fun to do it together. So speaking of doing it together, I want you all to meet our friend, Nick Martinez. Man, Nick, when you got started back in 2015, like you should be wearing a name tag, Nick. You're like a different guy 10 years later than you were then. Tell me some of the things you've learned as you've grown your Pruvit business.
What's happening? My name is Nick Martinez, and I live out in Minnesota. Really excited to be just sharing some of my story with you, and hopefully giving you a glimpse into what's possible inside of this community. When I got started with Pruvit, I was a full-time airline pilot, and I had one little girl at home and a baby on the way. I was looking for something. I was a pilot who loved flying, but also had an entrepreneurial mindset and knew that there was more out there that I could do, especially with some free time or some nooks and crannies of my day. So when somebody introduced me to the #1 health supplement in the world, which we didn't know at the time, now we know for real, like that's what this is. That's what we have our hands on. I got excited. I realized that the people that I was flying with needed ketones. I realized that my mom, my dad, my sister could all benefit from this. And I started to see them transform right before my eyes. And I thought, what if I could make an extra couple $1,000s a month? What if I could earn enough so that when our second child is born, my wife didn't have to go back to work? What if someday in the future, I could work hard, create a community, create impact, and someday maybe walk away from the airlines? Here we are 10 years later, and all of those what ifs actually came true. And we're really excited right now to introduce this opportunity to people like you, to people like that might be just saying, hey, I'd love to make an extra couple $100s a month to cover groceries like Stephanie, or people like myself who are entrepreneurial and are looking for that edge, looking for a way to create impact and income at the same time. And that's what this is. One of the things I was just listening, and I'm sure that you probably have a few questions right now. The one question that I probably you're asking is this for real? And is there any money in it, even for the average person, even for the person that maybe hasn't done this before? And the answer to that is yes. Pruvit has an amazing rewards program where we reward you with commissions. You can even get the ability to earn free product by sharing it with 3 friends who order on a monthly basis. And then beyond that, we have getting started bonuses. So if you're like, Nick, how do I make $1,000 in the first month? We have a path for that. It's called our MVP. And you can actually hit MVP not once, not twice, but 3 times. And you can do it on a weekly basis. And it's an extra $500 bonus on top of commissions. So we have a really cool rewards plan that's going to incentivize you to go help people with our product and really help create a community for you. The second question that I get asked a lot, and you might have this, is like, can I do this? My background is flying airplanes. And as a pilot, I was really good at shutting the door and not being a marketer, not being creative. I was designed to follow a system to fly that airplane. And the unique thing here is we have a system that you get to plug into where we kind of take you through a checklist, just like I would to start the airplane, to taxi the airplane, to take the airplane off. And if you follow that checklist, if you follow the process that we have laid out for you, you're going to fly that airplane safely and have success, right? So those that follow our system are set up to have success in impacting people and earning an income inside of this. Our system, you heard Stephanie mention, was ACE, and we have a whole process and program to take you through in order to teach you that, to train you what you need to know, and also to help support you along the way. The last question that you might have is probably the most important. It's how do I get started? Like, what are my next steps? And to be perfectly honest, it's join us, right? If you're not yet drinking ketones, make sure you get some ketones. But more importantly, you're going to see that we have a few different options, right? It might be the mini, it might be the mega, it might be the max, like 3 different options to get started. The purpose of the product you're purchasing inside of your business is not just to drink personally, but it's to get into people's hands. So whoever shared this with you, you're going to ask them like, hey, which pack should I get, right? I would get as much product as you can to start, because you're going to want to get it into people's hands quickly and you don't want to run out. And then from there, you're going to go to your friend's website. You're going to grab your pack. Our membership is $49 a year. That's all it costs to be a promoter with us, $49 annually. It's super, super affordable. It's like literally $4 a month to start a business that can truly create freedom and impact in your life. And then we're going to help you launch. Okay. The person that you're working with is going to help you launch your business and get started sharing this. First goal, get it for free. Second goal, hit what we call MVP, earn that first $500 bonus, and we'll go from there. So, Natalie, I know that might be more than you asked, but I'm just excited for where we're at right now. I'm excited for the world learning about the #1 health supplement and the #1 health company in the world, and this is just the beginning.
Absolutely. What I love, Nick, that you mentioned is, and Stephanie mentioned it too, people have an experience on ketones. So you're not convincing, you're not talking people into doing something. You're saying, hey, try this. And when they have an incredible experience drinking the power of pure therapeutic ketones, they have an experience and they're like, man, I want to share this with my mom, my sister, my neighbor, my best friend, my coworker. And it becomes this easy process of like, man, when I feel good, maybe I lost a few lbs, maybe my energy's way up, people are noticing like, hey, Nat, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you about ketones, how they're impacting my life. So it becomes an incredibly easy conversation when you're having a transformation yourself with your energy, mood, focus, fat loss. It's great. So listen, this is it. This is some information. We've got more things that we can provide you with. I would just encourage you. You're probably one of 3 people. Person number 1, you say, man, this is exciting. I haven't started drinking ketones yet. You just want to start drinking ketones. You just want to have a personal transformation. We're super excited for you. Welcome. We can't wait to celebrate your story. Maybe you're person number 2 where you're like, look, I want to put my toe in the water. I want to drink ketones, but I also want to get my ketones for free. Maybe you've got a few people that you can challenge to take a ketone, take a little ketone test drive with you, have them get some product, and you all have a transformation together and you can get your product for free. That's person number 2. Or maybe you're somebody who's like Dustin, Stephanie, Nick, and myself, who says like, hey, I want to create better for my family. You've got some financial goals. You've got some things coming up. Maybe you've got empty nester things happening. Maybe like Stephanie, you're looking for, you want a different car. Maybe you're like Nick and you want to set yourself financially free and retire from whatever your job is. Whatever that looks like for you, whether you're somebody who's looking for a little bit of extra income or through incredible mentorship, coaching, and some hard work, you're thinking like, look, I want to do this like you guys and really create a financial win for your family. Like, this is an opportunity for you. We all come from different backgrounds, different temperaments, but following the same system, we've all found success. So we are super excited for you. Don't delay. Get back with the person who invited you to come and take a look at this Zoom and tell them like, look, hey, I'm a 1, I'm a 2, or I'm a 3. And we are super excited to welcome you to the Pruvit community. And we can't wait to celebrate all of your success. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are,
It's time to prove it again. The next era is here. Are you ready?